Hey guys, so when you're choosing Pilates equipment, it can be really, really tough. One, it's expensive and then you can't return it, and you want to make sure that you get the best that you can afford. And whenever I'm looking for new equipment, I always look for videos that anyone may have made to kind of guide me through the different parts of it, what they like, they don't like, how it works. And there aren't many videos like this out there. So today I'm going to take you through the Reformer Tower combo from Pilates Designs by Basil. Now, Basil Bletter was a co-owner of Gratz Industries with Donald Gratz. Gratz was the original Pilates equipment manufacturer that was actually handpicked by Joe Pilates, which is really cool. And then Basil later started his own Pilates equipment called Pilates Designs by Basil. So let's get into it. Okay, so here is the Pilates Designs by Basil Reformer Tower combo, and it's set up as the Reformer right now. Some things that I like about it, I'm going to go over what I like and dislike. One quick thought before I forget about it is I just had this maintenance by Pilates Pro Maintenance, which they're based in New York and they travel all over. So if you ever need your Pilates equipment maintenance, see when they're going to come into your area, and they are awesome. So this is about 10 years old now, about a decade old, and he said it still looks as it's pretty new. So that goes to show you that the quality of this equipment is just top notch. And what I really like is the way that these back wheels are. They are not the same wheels as underneath. They're specifically made to be in the back, and this leather strap just fits so well in it. And the way that it is, when you close it and change it to the mat tower, this doesn't get completely banged up like it does on the legacy equipment. And I'll show you over here what I mean by that in a comparison. So these are the same wheels underneath, and there's a lot of space here. So it does kind of move all over the place. And then when you transition it into the mat tower, you can see how dinged up the leather strap gets because of the design of this combo. Now, in a perfect world, we would all have just the Reformer and just the tower and everything as its own specific piece of equipment, but we don't all have the space for that. So, you know, some of the combos, I think, for different companies need to be a little bit designed better. Moving on, though. So I'm going to teach you how to transition it and kind of go through parts as we go. So the headrest, you take the handles off, they go into the well. The headrest goes down. Now these screw at the bottom, so I want to show you how that works. Okay, so I'm going to unscrew here, and you know, this is more time consuming than the legacy, so I do tend to, if I need a quick transition something, I do the legacy one instead of this, and I kind of keep this because it's so time consuming. Not that time consuming, just when you're with a client, it's time consuming. Okay, so the screw, you unscrew it and it comes out, but now the screw makes this quite solid. So, you know, I guess you give and take, depends on what you want. Okay, and then the L blocks come with this equipment. They did not come with my legacy equipment, so keep that in mind if you are buying from legacy, that you do have to order the L blocks separate. And these, because these screw in, and I always have, since I got this, I have had a little trouble with this one. I have to really push up to screw this one in, but I never had trouble with that one. But what's nice about them screwing in is that they lay flush with the headrest and the mat, whereas with the legacy, they kind of sit above, just, you know, due to the design. So these screw in. Okay, and let me just show you the legacy one so that you can see to compare. It's so much quicker. They're not quite as solid, but I haven't found that to be an issue. And you just pull this little chain out and you pull it out. So this is what I mean by it is much, much quicker. Pull the thing out, take it out, and go back in. And then the L blocks literally just get pushed down, and they just sit a bit above. It's really not a big deal. I don't even notice it. I will say that the customer service with Legacy is great, because the first set of L blocks they gave me, as someone just put their leg on this part that's up, this part completely broke off. So the welding was not that great. They did mention that
look at my hands now. They did mention that it had happened to them as well, and they got a stronger welding, and just for free right away, they sent me different ones. I also had trouble getting, oh, see. So I don't know if they get warped over time, cold, heat, or what, but I did struggle to get these in there, and they just sent me a new pair. So like I said, the customer service is wonderful. So, you know, that's a plus on that. Okay, so back to this one. To keep transitioning it, you take the springs off. So I ordered a 5th spring that's a half spring for certain things like Swakati, where it's quite, you know, it's quite heavy classical equipment for women to do on there. I will say the half spring is still quite difficult to do Swakati on. But you take all the springs off and you just push it to the back. It just rolls nicely. And then the foot bar comes into the well, and that bar goes down on top of it. I also have a negative gear here. It would only come with 3 unless you order that specifically. Now this bar can't stay here. So one thing with the Legacy is you don't have to move the bar from first gear to transition it. So that's nice, but this one does have to move back into second gear, or if you have a negative, well, it's still second gear, but it looks like third if you have a negative gear. Then I grabbed the mat, and all this equipment is quite heavy. It's solid. This is why it's lasted so long. And, you know, for a decade, I will say that this ivory color has held up pretty well. Look at this, struggling. So you always put this side down. Am I in there? There we go. So you put this side down with the strap first, and then you push this side in. So as long as I've had this with this color, it's done pretty well. However, I would not get it again because it shows everything. So it's, you know, and so, you know, over where people put their head a lot, it starts to yellow and discolor a little bit. So I personally wouldn't get it again, but it is gorgeous. Yeah. Okay, so now it's into the mat tower, and I want you to take note of their Kuna board, because this board, the way that they designed this board with this is awesome, because usually you can't keep this Kuna board in there when you're using the push-through bar. You can't on grots. I know since I have the Contrology Cadillac, they have designed a Kuna board that allows this to happen as well. However, theirs is not long enough, and it doesn't sit as nicely. It kind of, yeah, it's just not as good. Okay. So when you're using this with it top loaded and you're doing anything this way, it can just stay there. So you don't have to fuss with it when you're doing swan or anything like that. And then for push through, what's nice is I like to keep the board there because it allows the ankle to not compress. So you're not really making wrinkles in your ankle. So it allows you to push through the heel and the ball of the foot evenly with that arch being lifted. So now your client is working proper alignment of their feet, and they don't have to really try. But when they're all the way up like this, then sometimes depending on, you know, flat feet, their arches can collapse and stuff. So this is really great. And you can do your push through and it fits, which is super nice. So I think that is one of the best designs of this piece. And it really is, you know, really does, everything's super solid. It feels solid. And it does feel like a tower when you're on it. And when you're on a reformer, it does feel just like a reformer. So I do think that design is good. One thing I will say is their equipment, if you just order their equipment, it comes with the padding that it comes with. It is really squishy. So it's extra padded, in my opinion. I have clients that just love the extra padding. I don't personally. I wish it was a little firmer. I think they do offer that. I don't know if they did when I bought this, but I'm pretty sure that they do have in their archival collection. It's a little more firm. So why I like it a little more firm is it gives you more feedback. So when you're on such a squishy mat, you can't really feel where your tailbone is heavy, where you're pulling your ribs, because you're kind of sinking into it a little bit too much, in my opinion. That being said, again, I have clients that love the squishiness of it. It does make it harder to balance on one leg, so maybe you're working your ankle a little bit more. It's not the end of the world, I think, for the mat tower. I do have the Pilates designed by Basil 1-to high chair combo. I'll do another video of that. And I think that it's way too padded at the top. When you're going up front and whatnot, it's just really hard for clients to not be close to a wall and balance when it's just so padded. So just my opinion there. This equipment has served me very, very well over the years. I can't believe this is my first piece and I can't believe it's going away tomorrow, but I did sell it to a client that just loves it. So anyways, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified of all things Pilates. And I will do one of these videos of every piece of equipment I have in my studio. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.